No matter how much Up dumps spices into their cooking, it's always tasteless-ish.
Original posted by, deleted, in r/cooking on March 14, 2023. No matter how much I dump spices into my cooking, it's always tasteless-ish. Am I missing something? Does the order in which I put the spices make a difference? Should I cook the spices for a certain amount of time before adding the veggies? For context, I usually cook pasta, chilies, lentils, beans, etc. I'm vegan. Edit. Thank you all for your suggestions. I just discovered the problem is probably caused by my primitive cooking skills. LOL. Going to experiment with all your suggestions. I'll update later. Edit 2. A lot of you are asking whether I have a health condition or not. I haven't had COVID before. I'm fine, and the problem is only with my food. I enjoy my mom's cooking and eating out, though I can't deny that somehow my taste buds aren't that sensitive, and I love my food being a little bit seasoned. Update posted by, deleted, in r/cooking on March 17, 2023. I just cooked my regular beans with the same spices and the same ingredients, but I followed all your advice, and the taste is just mind-boggling. I made 2 portions, but I ended up eating all of them in no time. LOL. So here's what I did.
I checked the freshness of my spices, and indeed my coriander powder tasted like dust, even though I only bought it 2 weeks ago. I feel like I got scammed. My chili powder wasn't that hot, maybe because I had it on my shelf for ages. LOL. I cooked for a longer time. This time I caramelized the onion. This was my first time doing so, and it definitely made a difference. And later when I added the tomatoes, I let them cook for a longer time, and I was surprised by how much water they contained. Blooming. Oh god, I used a less amount of spices, but blooming really unlocked the true flavors. Also, I added extra oil this time. I used a good amount of salt, and when I felt something is missing, I squeezed half a lemon at the end and the flavors just exploded. I genuinely believe this is what was missing the whole time. I mean, maybe this is the reason why I sometimes tasted saltiness? Using extra salt instead of acid. I used a different combination of spices. I used to put every spice that I have with every dish. I know it's stupid. LOL, but this time I only used some of them.
Thank you r/cooking for all your suggestions. Now I feel like eating is a pleasant experience rather than a chore I have to do for surviving, and I look forward to trying new recipes. Reminder, I am not the op.
As someone who loves cooking, it made me so happy to see this update. Oop is now going to level up in the kitchen, and each level is going to unlock new tastes and smells.
I read tasteless and thought, oh god, I hope it's not cancer located on their tongue. Thankfully that wasn't the case.
It's amazing what a little acid and fat can do in a recipe. Splash of vinegar, squeeze of citrus, little olive or avocado oil really can unlock flavor. Some things, like capsaicin, are not water-soluble, so the less oil, fat, the less flavor. Also, MSG, get you some, or use things that contain it, like Worcestershire sauce. I'm sure that's spelled wrong. I've been meaning to add more lemon to my cooking, because when I make something, my boyfriend loves it, but I always feel like it's underseasoned. I heard acid can help bring out flavor. I'm a huge acid proponent. I've got about a dozen types of vinegar and always have lemon and lime juice in the fridge. Since I'm pretty good with heat and seasoning, if something seems missing in my dishes, 99% it's some acid, even if it's not in the original recipe. I enjoy cooking and consider myself an above-average home chef. Op said something that many people do not do: cook long enough. This is especially true of anything containing tomatoes. The water has to evaporate so the flavors get concentrated. Another one is tasting as you go and address seasoning as needed. This is especially true of salt. I generally start out with half the salt and add as the cooking progresses. I've had similar things happen, using off-brand spices or spices that have sat in the cupboard for too long, and they haven't added anything to a meal. I'm really glad Oop kept trying. Going from eating to survive, to eating to enjoy, is a huge step and really adds something special to look forward to each day. Oh, this is a lovely one. For people who are having similar experiences to OOP. 1. Check the dates on your spices. Also, powdered spices are generally worse. Emo. If you have a little mortar and pestle or spice grinder, grinding your own coriander seeds is the way to go. 2. As OOP did, add a splash of acid to every dish. Lemon juice, white or apple cider vinegar, cooking wine. Just about every dish can be improved with one of these. 3. Bloom your spices. It's a game changer. If you're cooking a soup, sauce, or stew, heat up a little oil or clarified butter before you throw in your onions, garlic, other base, and toss your spices into the hot oil. Stir for about 30 seconds or until your kitchen smells amazing. Then add the rest of your base ingredients. 4. Can't believe I forgot this one. Taste as you go. Also, season every layer of the dish. Salt, pepper, and spice your onions and garlic. Once you've added the next layer, taste it and add more of the above if needed. If you're cooking from a tradition that is usually heavily spiced, it takes way more seasoning than most people are used to make it taste good. Even lightly spiced food takes far more salt and pepper than most people realize.
I'm traumatized cause my first thought was that's COVID.
Cooking will soon grow on her and she'll enjoy challenging herself with new recipes. I'll be waiting for an update when it happens to OOP. Salt, fat, acid, heat, spicy, not temperature. It's not just your seasonings that matter. You have to find a balance.
Salt, fat, acid, heat.
Every spice in one dish is the cooking equivalent to mixing all your paints and getting that greenish brown LMAO. Super glad OOP was able to get helpful feedback. Good for them. My mom always toasts whole spices before grinding it up. It tastes so much better. When she makes any sort of curry, as a base she gets sweet red peppers, red onions, sesame oil, and then her own garam masala and roasts it in the oven and then blends it. It tastes so good. Another common issue is people will try to leave out as much fat as possible to make food healthy. Fat carries flavor. An experiment you can do from YouTube: make a mix of spices and water, and the same amount of spices but this time with oil. Dip bread into each. The one dipped in oil is going to taste a hell of a lot better. If you're cooking vegetarian or vegan, you have to add in oil that is generally common in cooking meats. If you're cooking beans, you gotta add oil. Emulsifying oil or adding butter to pasta after draining will add in flavor and enhance the spices. Same with rice. If you're lacking milk and want hot cocoa, make a mix of melted butter, cocoa mix and water. If you want a vegan option, nut milks don't have enough oil in them, so you need to add a bit of coconut cream or oil. Avoiding oil is not gonna make you eat healthy because ultimately your food will taste terrible. You'll get tired of it and break the diet. Eat full-fat foods and work on portions. 9 times out of 10 when food tastes underseasoned, it just needs more salt and/or acid. I've been so conditioned that I thought this post was gonna be an in-law, narcissistic parent gaslighting them. As someone who used to have a very bland diet, and who is still learning to love spices, this is a joy to see. My boyfriend blew my mind by adding a pinch of sugar in tomato-based food. Wild the difference it makes.
What is blooming?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Heracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.